Hello, everyone, and welcome to your yoga class. Today's class is a gentle, full-bodied yoga class. Today we work up to Trikonasana, or triangle pose. It not only strengthens and lengthens the hamstrings, but it also opens the shoulders and stretches the hips. But first, hello, my name is Vanessa, and I am a yoga therapist based in the San Francisco Bay Area. In this yoga series, we will always have a peak pose we are working towards, and today that pose is Trikonasana, or triangle pose. I'm going to jump outside, so meet me on the mat. You'll feel better in body, mind, and spirit. Come on. Just finding your breath in your body, gently closing your eyes, noticing where your breath goes, finding those places of tension and just giving a little love and care to those spaces, thanking yourself for arriving. And always know that whatever we do in our yoga practice, this is absolutely for you. So modify as we go if you need to. Do what feels good to you. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You just do what feels good to you. So on the next breath, let's lengthen the spine, sitting up tall, letting the shoulders relax away from the ears, and just begin to take little movement with our head and neck, making circles to one side. Remembering to breathe. And then going in the other direction, same thing, remembering to breathe. And then finding the center, lifting the shoulders up to meet the ears, and then exhale, bringing them down. So I can feel the push as I push them down away from my ears. So really squeeze up at the top, and then exhale, letting everything go. Good. Inhale the arms up, and just stretch to one side, coming through center and to the other side. We're just lengthening these side muscles. Inhaling to center and exhaling over to one side. And then dropping the hands down to make a T, let's make some small circles with our arms. We'll go in one direction first, maybe making those circles a little larger, a little smaller, and then going in the other direction. And then relaxing back down to center, inhaling, lengthening the spine, exhale the shoulders up again, and pushing them down. So let's make some circles. Going in one direction and then in the other. We're just warming up our bodies. And today I'd like to sort of keep in mind this theme of balance. So we'll go in one direction first and then we'll go in the other direction, and that's going to help with our balance. So let's look over our right shoulders and then slowly bringing the head to the other side. Looking over right again. and to the left. And then finding that center space again, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, this time, walk your hands out in front of you and let the head be heavy. Relaxing your neck. Just taking a breath here. And then walking the hands up, inhaling up, clasping the hands at the top, and just bending back slightly. And then one more time, inhale the arms up. Exhale to one side, a little deeper than last time. Coming through center, exhale to the other side. Inhale through center and come into the other side. So we're just starting by warming up our spine. Let's inhale the arms up and we're going to exhale, twist to our right, looking over the right shoulder. Lengthening the spine as you inhale in, sitting up tall. And on an exhale, come back to center. Inhale the arms up and exhale, twist to the other side. Same thing, remembering to breathe. Lengthening the spine with each breath, sitting up tall. Inhale the arms up, exhale, twist. And just remembering to breathe. Inhale the arms up and exhale, twist. Excellent. Now let's come into our tabletop. So coming onto hands and knees, I'm going to back up to put my knees on both mats here. So I have a little extra padding my knees. And we're going to go ahead and drop our bellies and look up as we inhale into cow. And then exhale, pushing our backs up, tilting the pelvic bone the other way, pushing against the mat, coming into our cat. And so inhaling and exhaling into cow and into cat at your own pace, whatever your natural breath is perfect. Again, we are just warming up the spine. So before we start to do any bigger movements, we just want to bring a little bit of movement into our bodies, just to warm up. You may have been moving all day already, but you may not have. And so we want to begin to sync our breath with our movements. And again, finding balance. Dropping our bellies and then arching our backs, lifting our abs. And then coming into stillness, finding that tabletop, knees beneath your hips, hands wide, fingers wide, palms beneath your shoulders, and just lift the right leg. You can point and flex your foot, keeping your gaze at your mat to protect the neck, and then make circles with your foot, going in one direction and then in the other. And then bringing that down and lifting the left leg. Again, pointing and flexing the foot, trying to keep your hips even, parallel to your mat. And then circling your foot in one direction first, and then in the other. Very nice. And to go to the first foot first. In my case, it's my right leg, and I'm going to lift out my left arm. So finding some balance, really lengthening here in our half table. And then inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, bringing the elbow to meet the knee. And then again, inhaling and exhaling. contracting your abdominals. So inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, contracting. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, lengthening, reaching out in front of you, pushing out behind you, exhaling into a contraction. One more time. Lengthen and contract, and then relax. And maybe a cat and a cow, and moving on to the other side. So lifting the left leg up and lengthening with the right arm. So holding this for a moment, again, keeping your gaze towards your mat or looking out at your fingers in front of you, remembering to breathe, and then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, contract. And we'll do this a few times, lengthening and contracting, connecting with our breath. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. And then coming into a wide kneed child's pose. Let's walk those hands out in front of us and then dropping your forehead to your mat and just relaxing. Maybe rocking your head back and forth. We'll just take a moment here in this position. This is a position we often come to in our yoga practice when we just want to take a moment to ourselves. So let's take this moment and think of an intention you have for today or this week. And just silently saying that. Or since we're at home, perhaps by ourselves and not in the classroom, you can say it out loud. What is your intention for this week? Very nice. Let's come back through our tabletop. And one more time, let's push out that right leg behind us, flexing the toe. And this time we're just going to count down 10, lifting up maybe an inch or 5 inches. So we're going to work our glutes here just by going pumping, I guess. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and release. And notice the difference in your hips now. We can do that on the other side. So lengthening the left leg behind you, flexing the foot, and we're going to lift the heel up an inch or 5 inches. Count down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. Let's push back into that child's pose and just take a breath into your hips, maybe rocking back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and try to sit towards my right and then walk my hands out to the left, coming into a nice side stretch in this child's posture. And coming through center, moving the hips now to the left and walking my hands out to the right. So noticing where your body's at now, breathing deeply into these side stretches, walking the hands across, adjusting the hips. Inhale into the lengthening. And one more time on the other side. So this practice of contracting and then lengthening, right? Always contracting the abs and then lengthening that same body part. Same with all of our muscles and finding a balance in our body that way. So we're going to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and stand up and we'll do a few sun salutations. Now, in my case, well, the sun is there, so I will continue to look this way. Let's begin by standing in our mountain pose with feet hips width apart, rocking back to our toes, back onto our heels, finding that center place of alignment, and then inhaling the arms up, exhaling forward fold. And maybe this first forward fold, we'll just sort of leave that bend in our knees, let the front of our bodies be heavy. We're going to hold opposite elbow, maybe sway back and forth. Just waking up the hamstrings here. And then finding stillness, taking a breath. Then inhale, halfway look up. So placing the hands on the shins. Sometimes you see people still with fingertips on the mat, lengthening the spine. Inhale, exhale, come back into that forward fold. And either walk your hands to the top of your mat or jump or walk your feet to the back of your mat and come into plank. So just hold this plank for a moment. Again, strengthening our core here, keeping the hips up. Fingers are wide, palms flat on your mat. Gaze down at your mat to protect the neck. And then slowly lower. You can modify by putting your knees down first. We're going to hug our elbows to our body and then come all the way down. Placing now our elbows underneath our shoulders, hands out in front of us, coming into Sphinx. So here we are lengthening our abdominals. And we're starting low to protect our lower backs. And our next round we'll do an up dog. We're just going to start slowly at first. And then placing the hands back on the mat underneath the shoulders, pushing back into downward facing dog. So walking this first dog is feeling yourself in your body, noticing how you feel, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe you find some stillness, but remember to breathe. And then coming up on your tippy toes, bending the knees, looking between your hands, we're going to step or jump forward. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, forward fold. Noticing how this forward fold feels now. And then on an inhalation, coming up very slowly, reaching the hands all the way up. And exhaling, coming back to our mountain pose. So let's do a few of these. You can do them with me, or you can go more quickly or more slowly. Do whatever you need to modify. But I'm very grateful that the sun's come out today. Grateful for the rain, but also grateful for the sun. So I think this is a really nice practice. And remember to breathe. Your breath moves with your body. So inhale and exhale. 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 And inhale. Very nice. Again, remember to just do these movements at your own pace. Whatever feels right to you in your body right now. Paying attention for your inhalation and your exhalation. Maybe taking some extra movements that feel good in your body. And we'll meet together on our mats. The seagulls have come to say hi. I don't know if you can hear them. I like this twisting movement here. I had a teacher who would say, "Whap your organs." Now, I don't know if we should be doing that very hard, but it feels like a nice and cleansing wake up. Very good. Let's come into our warrior two position. So I'm going to point my toe directly out to my right, and then have this foot perpendicular. So the heel is coming towards the center of my foot here, and then reaching out both arms, looking out, reaching out to that wall or whatever's there to your right, and then looking at that hand behind you and reaching out to the back. And just noticing, are your shoulders up? Can you relax them? Are your arms long? Are your legs sturdy? Do you have too much weight towards the front or the back? Then on an inhalation and an exhale into side angle. Really lengthen out, reach out with that left arm over towards your right. And then coming in to peaceful warrior. And then back into warrior two. So you're feeling your legs yet? Let's lengthen that front leg. We're going to set up for triangle. So both legs are now straight. Reach out to the right and come into your triangle pose. So you're really trying to find this balance between the right and the left foot. You just look down towards your mat. And if it's in your practice, you can look up. And then one more time, moving through that warrior two position. And then coming into warrior two on the other side. So just moving right over to look off into the other direction. So again, reaching out with both arms. I always like to check my back arm to see if it's straight, if it's lengthened. Holding this strong foundation for your warrior two. Inhale, exhale. Come into side angle pose. So finding a lengthening and also balance. Remembering to breathe. Coming back through warrior two. And into peaceful warrior. Looking up. Letting your hands be light and easy. Keeping the bend in the front leg. Lengthening strong in the back. Coming back through warrior two. Maybe one more drop down. And then straightening that leg. Keeping the arms up if you can. And then reaching out to the left. And coming into side or triangle pose. Moving through that warrior two one more time. And then placing your hands on the hip, looking to the front. So now I'm going to take my toes and point them inward. And inhale with my hands on my waist. Exhale. Halfway forward fold. So really finding the length in your legs. And keeping a slight bend in the knees. And inhale here in the half bend and then forward fold, bringing your head towards your mat. And if you'd like, placing your hands beneath your head. Inhale, halfway look up, bringing the hands back to hips. And then inhale, come all the way up. Now, unfortunately, I don't know where everyone is at in your practice, but we can do a headstand here. So if it's in your practice, let's go ahead and do that this time. Otherwise, I will interlace my hands behind my back and we'll do the pose. We won't do the headstand. We'll do the shoulder stretch. So inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, halfway forward fold. Keeping the hands behind your back, inhaling and exhaling, coming all the way down, and this time bringing the hands behind you. And inhale halfway up, and then come come all the way back. So this time, if you like to do the headstand, let's do that. Otherwise, we'll interlace our hands behind our back again. So let's see. I will maybe attempt the headstand. So inhale, exhale, halfway forward fold. Inhale, forward fold, and then continue with your hands behind your head. And if you're doing your headstand, you might need to lengthen or widen your stance so that your head can come down to the mat. And then lift your legs slowly. Go ahead and inhale halfway up, placing the hands on the hips. Inhale all the way up. And then jump your feet together. So I didn't do that headstand because I kind of felt like I was on a little bit of an angle here and it didn't seem safe. So if it's in your practice, I hope you did it. Maybe we'll try it again sometime. Let's find our feet hips width apart again. And we're just going to sit back as though we're sitting in a chair. And just reach your hands out in front of you, keeping the weight off of your toes, keeping the knees behind your toes, so you're really sitting back. And then standing up. Let's do that again. Coming into our chair, keeping the arms up, keeping your upper body up, sitting back in that chair, sitting back, and then standing up. Maybe shaking the legs, letting it go. And one more time. Keeping the arms up, the upper body up, sitting back in your chair. And this time, forward fold. And walk the legs out. Here. I'm actually going to shorten my stance and bend my knees and my toes and come into frog. So I like this because I like to keep my feet flexible because I'm often on my feet. So if you can sort of bounce in your frog pose and keep your hands up, or you can inhale the arms up and exhale, twist. Inhale the arms up, exhale, twist to the other side. Just trying to find some balance. And if you fall back, that's okay. Let's actually take this pose a little further and come right beneath our bottoms. So we're sitting back on our heels now. Knees are together. And slowly bring those knees down, keeping the toes tucked. So maybe placing your prayer hands on your knees. And closing the eyes gently and taking a breath. Nice breath in. Just breathing into those places of tension. Very good. And then release. So releasing those toes. Now we'll do the counter pose. We'll stretch our ankles. So lifting one knee at a time. This could be slow relaxed. Maybe you could do both knees. Very good. So coming through our tabletop, let's step out to the outside of our mat with our right foot and just play with your hip here, right? Pushing into that low lunge and lengthening. Just finding a deep stretch in the hip. Maybe you can put your elbows down, keeping prayer hands, come into lizard. Remembering to breathe. And then with the hands walking up, bring that foot to center. Let's take up the toe, and flex the foot, and lengthen the hamstring here. Coming into half monkey. Very good. Let's take that foot back. And now with the other leg, take that foot to the front, the outside of your mat. And just play with opening your hip and moving in this posture back and forth, going between lizard and monkey. So you could deepen your stretch. Walking the hands up, flexing the foot, pointing your toes to your face, and stretching your hamstring. Very good. Let's bring both legs back and sit in our diamond pose. Maybe a few more shoulder rolls. Just noticing how your body feels now. And we'll bring the palms of the soles of our feet together. Come into butterfly. You can take your peace fingers, wrap it around your big toes, and you can bounce lightly. You don't want to bounce really hard. Little kids can do that, but it's not quite as good for adults. We just want to be easy. And inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, forward fold. And let's stay here for a round of breaths. Really deepening into this deep stretch. Keeping the gaze down towards your toes, letting the head be heavy. Nice. And walk the legs out in front of you and just shake them out. We're going to come down onto our mats. So go ahead and come down slowly. So a little bit more ab work here. Come all the way down. Let's just take that right knee and hug it to your chest. And lift that leg up wherever you are. And pull it towards your face. Maybe and lift your head. Kiss your knee. lengthening that leg. And go ahead and take it out to one side and to the other, crossing your body. Very good. Now let's switch legs. First, we'll hug that left leg in. And then lengthen the leg. Pulling it towards your head. Kissing your knee if possible. Taking the leg out to one side. Laying it across the body. Gonna go ahead and come into happy baby pose. So taking the hands between the legs, bending the knees, holding the outside of your foot, and just have fun. Rocking back and forth gently. What a beautiful day. It's so good of you to take this time out for yourself today. You've taken class with me before, you know I like to give my body a little massage, especially when I'm at my feet, thanking them for taking me places. And let's hug both knees into our body and make a T with our arms, and then drop the knees to our left so that we're coming in to a twist on our right. Let's relax into the supine twist. Inhaling, exhaling, sending love to those places of tension. And then moving through center and dropping both knees to the left, or excuse me, both knees to the right. Coming into a twist on your left. And bringing both legs back to center. Rocking back and forth. Making circles with the knees to give your lower back a nice massage. Taking your feet down now. Keeping the knees bent. We're going to set up for bridge. So keeping the palms, your hands onto your mat. Maybe fingertips can touch your heels. And then on an inhalation, we're going to push our hips up, coming into bridge, so pushing really tall. Maybe interlacing your hands behind your back. Remember to breathe here. You don't want to hold your breath. Lifting, lifting, lifting the hips, lifting the hips. And then exhale. Come all the way down into Shavasana. Taking up some space in this final pose. Opening your palms to the sky. Letting your toes fall out to either side of you. Closing your eyes. Maybe you notice the beat of your heart. letting the thoughts come and go with each exhalation, letting your body be a little heavier, knowing that the mat, the earth supports you. She can take all the weight. She, Mother Earth. And with a big breath, begin to breathe life back into your body. You begin by wiggling your fingers, stretching the toes, maybe reaching the arms out overhead, coming into a long, lengthy stretch of your whole body. And then bringing your knees to chest, we'll come to meet in a tall seated position, the one we began class with. So relaxing the hands on your knees, finding your sit bones. Maybe your eyes are still closed. Just gently coming to sitting. And then bringing your hands to heart center. Set your thumbs are on your breastbone. And just say to yourself, good job. Good job today. This is perfect. We're here together in this moment for a reason. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's end our practice together with one Om. So inhale for Om. Hands to the third eye. May you always see beauty, may you always hear truth, and may you always know love. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.